Your mind is constantly engaged in a silent conversation, a stream of thoughts that shapes your reality. These thoughts arise spontaneously, sometimes so subtly that you hardly notice them. Yet, they carry an immense influence over how you perceive yourself and the world around you. Have you ever stopped to consider how often you accept these thoughts as absolute truths? This unceasing mental dialogue is not the real you. It's a mechanism, a pattern, a habit that has taken root in your consciousness. Your mind loves control, and it wields this control by keeping you busy, worrying about the future, revisiting the past, and analyzing every aspect of your present. The voice in your head is not you. This realization is the first step toward reclaiming your inner peace. That restless chatter, the voice that criticizes, complains, and doubts, is merely a part of your mind's attempt to create safety and predictability. It's a tool designed for survival, but it has become overzealous. By constantly pointing out potential dangers, it creates chaos rather than peace. The voice isn't malicious, it's misguided. Its purpose is to protect, but its method often involves drowning you in unnecessary noise. How do you break free from this incessant chatter? It begins with observation. Instead of engaging with every thought that arises, take a step back and watch them. Observe the voice like you would observe clouds passing through the sky. Some thoughts will be light and fleeting, while others may be heavy and dark. Regardless of their nature, they all share one characteristic: they are temporary. When you watch these thoughts without judgment, you create a gap between yourself and the chatter. This gap is where freedom resides. It is a space untouched by mental noise, a space where you can experience life directly and fully. Your mind thrives on attention. The more you believe in its stories, the stronger its hold becomes. But the moment you step back and observe the chatter for what it is, just a series of mental patterns, its power begins to dissolve. The goal is not to silence the voice entirely. Attempting to force silence often leads to frustration. Instead, recognize that these thoughts are just that, thoughts. They are not reality. They are not you. You are the awareness behind them, the observer who watches them come and go. As you strengthen this awareness, you will discover a profound sense of peace and clarity. When you apply this same practice to the emotions that arise from your thoughts, you unlock another layer of freedom. Emotions, like thoughts, are fleeting. They may feel overwhelming in the moment, but they are not permanent. Most emotions stem from past experiences, from unresolved traumas and memories that linger in your subconscious. These emotions can define your life if you allow them to. They manifest as pain, anger, or sadness, and they persist as long as you hold on to the stories attached to them. Think about how often you replay painful events in your mind. Each time you revisit these memories, you strengthen their grip on you. But it's not the original event that continues to hurt you. It's your unwillingness to let it go. Letting go does not mean forgetting or pretending the event never happened. It means freeing yourself from the emotional weight it carries. Let the emotions arise. Feel them fully, but do not become them. When you resist emotions, they grow stronger, taking a firmer hold over you. When you allow them to flow through you without resistance, they lose their power. Your thoughts and emotions are like visitors passing through your awareness. They are not permanent residents unless you invite them to stay. By observing them without judgment, you detach from their influence. This detachment creates space where you can breathe, where you can simply be. This is the essence of inner peace, the realization that you are not your thoughts or emotions. You are the one who observes, the one who experiences, the one who exists beyond the chatter. As you practice observing your thoughts, you may notice patterns. These patterns often reflect deeply ingrained beliefs and mental habits. Some thoughts may seem repetitive, cycling through the same fears and concerns. These cycles are the mind's attempt to maintain control. By recognizing these patterns, you begin to understand that they are not unique to you. They are part of the human experience, a collection of conditioned responses shaped by your environment and upbringing. When you observe these patterns without judgment, you weaken their hold. The mind's chatter thrives on your engagement. When you stop reacting to every thought, you rob it of its power. This doesn't mean the thoughts will disappear entirely. They may still arise, but their influence will diminish. Over time, you will notice a shift. The mental noise becomes quieter, and the space of awareness grows larger. In this space, you can connect with the present moment. You can experience life without the filter of mental commentary. The mind's chatter often focuses on the future or the past. It worries about what might happen or regrets what has already occurred. This focus pulls you away from the present moment, the only moment where life truly unfolds. When you observe your thoughts, you anchor yourself in the now. You realize that most of your worries and regrets are unnecessary. They are projections and reflections, not realities. This practice of observation extends to your emotions. Many of the emotions you experience are tied to past events. They linger because you replay the stories associated with them. For example, a painful memory may evoke feelings of anger or sadness long after the event has passed. These emotions persist because you hold on to the story. By observing the emotion without attaching to the story, you allow it to dissolve. Feel the emotion fully but let it pass. It is like a wave rising and falling in the ocean. It is temporary, not permanent. When you resist emotions, you create tension. This tension amplifies the emotion, making it feel overwhelming. But when you allow the emotion to flow through you, it loses its intensity. This doesn't mean you suppress or ignore the emotion. Suppression only pushes the emotion deeper, where it festers. Instead, acknowledge the emotion. Feel it without judgment, and then let it go. This process frees you from the grip of past pain and unresolved trauma. Unresolved emotions are like baggage you carry with you. The longer you hold on to them, the heavier they become. They weigh you down, preventing you from moving forward. But when you let them go, you lighten your load. You free yourself to experience life more fully. Letting go doesn't mean erasing the past. It means releasing the hold it has on you. It means choosing to live in the present, rather than being trapped by what has already happened. The mind loves to create stories. It analyzes, criticizes, and complains, often weaving narratives that are far removed from reality. These stories can create stress and anxiety, but they are not truths. They are interpretations. By observing the mind's chatter, you can see these stories for what they are. You can choose not to believe them. This doesn't mean you ignore reality. It means you see reality more clearly without the distortions of mental noise. The voice in your head is a tool, not a master. It can help you plan and solve problems, but it is not meant to dominate your experience of life. When you observe the voice, you reclaim your power. You realize that you are not the chatter, you are the awareness behind it. This awareness is your true self. It is peaceful, still, and unchanging. It exists beyond the mind's stories and emotional reactions. As you deepen your awareness, you may notice a profound sense of clarity. This clarity arises because you are no longer entangled in the mind's web of thoughts and emotions. You see things as they are, not as your mind interprets them to be. This doesn't mean you become detached or indifferent. On the contrary, you become more present, more engaged with life. You experience each moment fully, without the filter of mental noise. The practice of observing your thoughts and emotions is simple but not always easy. The mind is accustomed to being in control, and it may resist your attempts to step back. Be patient with yourself. This is a practice, not a one-time event. Each moment of observation strengthens your awareness. Over time, this awareness becomes your default state. You find yourself less reactive, less entangled in the mind's chatter. When you observe your thoughts and emotions, you create space. This space is where true freedom lies. It is the freedom to choose how you respond to life. It is the freedom to be fully present, to experience life as it is. This freedom is not something you achieve. It is something you uncover. It is always there, waiting for you to recognize it. The journey to inner peace begins with a simple realization. You are not your thoughts. You are the awareness behind them. This awareness is your true self. It is vast, still, and unchanging. It is the space where life unfolds. By observing your thoughts and emotions, you reclaim this awareness. You free yourself from the grip of mental noise and emotional baggage. You discover a deep sense of peace and clarity, a sense of being fully alive in the present moment. This is the essence of freedom. This is the essence of you.